let's talk about my new obsession. From the creators of the game who popular
Literally.
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 Literally. Ya Allah.
From the creators of the game who popularized the rogue deck building genre comes the sequel Slay the Spire 2. A bunch of new and returning cards, characters, lore that I wish I can tell you, but I keep falling asleep to the lore videos at night because that's the optimal way to go to sleep. But hey, I know this guy. I would like to think I play a diverse genre of games, from FPSs, RPGs, survival, etc. But one of my favorites are card games.
So now I'm in the Battle City, and I'm gonna beat the shit out of this fucker right here. It's always better to go second, because you can't attack on your first turn. Alright, fucking, that's great. What?! Are you fucking kidding me?!
And roguelikes. Slay the Spire, both 1 and 2, combines them for a brutal yet satisfying gameplay loop that makes you just want to go on that one more run. I haven't had the time recently to play on my PC because of work, and realizing that touching grass actually feels good. So I got a portable handheld, which has been a lifesaver whenever I just need a quick gaming session before returning to the inevitable thinking that I won't be able to own a house. Bills are never ending, the world is going to shit, and life is meaningless. Anyway, Slay the Spire 2 has been so good at giving me that quick and de-stressing experience when I'm looking to play a game nowadays. Which I would say if my win rate was any higher. Now, I'm no means great at the game. I'm not even good. But am I having a great time? Fuck yeah. Please see here as to why I'm a complete fucking masochist with video games. Masochism aside, there's something about discovering cards and how well it would synergize with your deck that it just feels really satisfying. If you've ever had your first Infinite, then you know exactly what I'm talking about. Throughout an entire run, I find even subconsciously, I'm theory crafting what my deck needs and what cards I'm looking for to make myself even more overpowered. And when your deck finally comes together, it's just... What I've said so far applies to both Slay the Spire 1 and the sequel. So you must be thinking to yourself, why should I get the sequel when the first game is the same? Well, it isn't. There are things that are the same and the core gameplay loop is untouched, which is a good thing. That's what made a game a hit to begin with. But I think it's fair to say that this game is a fair successor to the first. And with it still being early access, there's a lot of things to look forward to in the future. From what I've seen, the game devs are very transparent on the changes they're making and why they're making it. You might be a bit scared of the term early access, as games have taken that title and used it to their greedy advantages.
Hello, I like money.
But this is not the case for Slay the Spire 2. Even in early access, there is a lot of content to play around, with taking each of the 4 characters to Ascension 10 and unlocking epochs or the game's unlocks while you're progressing. Speaking of characters, let's do a quick rundown on the new and returning characters that you play while climbing the spire. The Ironclad is a returning character from the game who is the first character that you play upon starting. A soldier from a clan who sold his soul to a mysterious demonic entity. His cards are all about sacrificing health to do various things, debuffing enemies so they take more damage, or stacking a bunch of armor so you don't take hits. Overall, I'd like to say he's an all-around type of character, but there has to be some level of micromanaging his health so you don't accidentally die. The Silent is another returning character who's all about drawing and discarding cards for cool effects. She's an assassin-type huntress from a distant land, and it really shows in her gameplay. It's all about death from 1,000 cuts from her, and as you'd expect, from an assassin archetype, she has poison to do potentially crazy amount of damage every turn. I personally love doing shift builds where I just spam 0-cost cards and hope whatever I'm facing dies without doing the math. The last returning and my personal favorite character is the Defect. If I'm being completely honest, I had no idea how to play this guy in the first game, but for some reason in the sequel, I find him so much more fun to play. If I were to summarize what he does, I'd say it revolves around several gimmicks. He has a passive orb system that does passive effects depending on which orb you cast. One archetype revolves around creating and taking advantage of harmful status cards that result in a lot of damage. This is basically how I feel when I have a bunch of lightning orbs in my slots. The Necrobinder is the first of the 2 new characters added to Slay the Spire 2. And finally, we have a Necromancer type character. Her gimmick is her right-hand man, Osti, that revives even when he's killed. And he synergizes a lot with her cards. It's really fun to make Osti have a shit ton of health and do a big slam. Apart from Osti, she also has a new debuff called Doom.
Doom? 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 What in the world is Doom? Did she say Doom?
Well, not as flashy as that, but it's basically similar to poison, but only applies after the enemy's turn. And if there's the same or more doom than the enemy, then they instantly die. But that just seems like worse poison, right? Well, not exactly. Doom has higher numbers per card compared to poison, and there's so many ways to scale the doom later on. Last but definitely not the least is the Regent. For some reason, the internet has turned this character into an anime girl, but you know what? I can see it. They use a separate energy source using stars, and these star cards are usually low in energy cost or are just 0 costs. And they do so many different things to help your deck. You can have a deck rely entirely on stars and damage enemies whenever you gain or spend stars, or you could forge your big ass sword, which is Regent's unique card, which scales in damage whenever you play the forge cards. I could never get the forge cards to win me a run, but it's really fun just stacking damage for that one big bonk. Another improvement in the sequel is the multiplayer feature, so you can team up with up to 4 friends and climb the spire together. The mode might seem like a feature taped on last minute, but it really isn't. The co-op seems really fleshed out, with enemies scaling to how many players there are in a run, and so many broken synergies that come with having multiple characters in a single run. You really have to strategize with your team so you can maximize each turn. Additionally, you can draw on the map. And knowing how most game sessions go with your friends, it usually devolves to people just drawing dicks or random shit on the screen. Overall, Slay the Spire 2 keeps what made the first game great, while also improving and adding new things to keep the game fresh. It's really easy to sink in so many hours in one session, or a few runs casually if you're busy. I personally can't wait for more updates. I hope they add more characters, because my favorite mod in the game was Downfall, if you've ever heard of it, where you could play as the bosses, which was so well thought out and more complex than I expected. There's already a modding community, but I hope we get official Steam Workshop, because I want to be able to play on both my PC and my handheld without installing the same mods manually. I'm probably just gonna do a run after this video, so I'm gonna end it there. Wish me luck on getting my 4th win. I want to have at least a win with each character before I start doing Ascensions. But yeah, I've been Tomo, and I'm proud of you.